Hello and welcome to another exciting meeting of Interpersonal Toastmasters meeting. I'm your Sergeant at Arms for today's meeting and I welcome you all. Let me start with stating mission of the club. Mission of Toastmasters Club is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills with positive attitude, positive environment wherein people are empowered to develop. Toastmasters is a non-profit organization, and I know all people in this group are stalwarts of Toastmasters and they don't need any introduction on Toastmasters. Let me introduce the Toastmaster of the day today. She is young, dynamic, and energetic Toastmaster Viveka, who is going to take us through her thoughts. Toastmaster Viveka, the stage is yours.
What was a New Year resolution? Silence, pause. What was your New Year resolution? Set a pleasing and a highly agreeable man with a smile. That's what we do at Toastmaster. Everything with a smile. He repeated, Viveka, think about it. You have good 2 minutes. Speak about anything, your likes, dislikes, anything. He asked me about my favorite color. I was blank. Forget about 2 minutes. I could not hold my ground for a few seconds. My face was burning, my legs were shaking, and I was confounded. Ashamed, guilty, confused, and highly embarrassed. What the hell just happened? I can talk to anybody, anywhere in the world. I do not come across as an introvert. Then what exactly happened? This was not just a blackout. Hello all, welcome to Interpersonal Toastmasters. I am Viveka Tiwari and I am your host for the session. A big thank you to all the guests for showing up today. If there are any guests, I don't know. I would love to take your introductions during the second half of the meeting. Is confrontation a choice, a decision, or a folly, self-infliction? Well, it depends on the situation, context, mood, mental state, but for me, it's a ghost. The above incident was a harmless situation that I could have just shoved under the carpet. My problem is not the language. My issue is anytime if the focus is on me or I get into any confrontational situation, I give up. We all have our ways of dealing with situations. Mine is to avoid any form of confrontation. So what do I do when I have to argue? Either I agree to something stupid or I evade the situation. Well, evading worked well until I was in real job. In real life, we can't evade. Be it work, home, or neighborhood, I need to learn how to stand my ground in any conversation. I'm often at loss of words, but I'm delighted to say that my friends here are pretty good with words. My first friend here is Toastmaster Kalpana, who has a huge responsibility of counting our time while we speak. She's also playing the role of an out counter, and she will take a note of our loss of words, unwanted pauses, fillers like Raghu, the magician, is table topic master today. He would make us comfortable with impromptu part of communication. Next in line is the grammarian, Toastmaster Catherine, and I would request a grammarian for introducing the word of the day. Catherine, you have to give the word of the day. Would you do the favor?
I have shared it on the group. Would you like me to go ahead and introduce the word of the day now?
Yes, if you can, it's possible.
Okay. Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day. Because I need to read the word of the day, I'm not going to put my camera on. Please receive my sincere apologies. The word of the day is dissension. dissension to mean disagreement that leads to discord. These issues caused a bitter dissension in the party, or often dissension in the ranks, dissatisfaction with those in authority. Dissension. Toastmasters and guests, I would be very proud if each one of us can use the word dissension as we make our presentations today. I will also be looking out for great use of the grammar English language. Thank you.
Well, dissension is an interesting word, Catherine. Thank you for sharing it. With this, let's start a first section of prepared speeches. We have two speakers today, Toastmaster Piyush and Toastmaster Sangeeta. And of course, two evaluators, Toastmaster Catherine and Toastmaster Susan. I invite Toastmaster Catherine to introduce her role and give us the objective of the speech she is going to evaluate.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Viveka. Toastmaster and guests, please allow me shortly to switch off my camera as I read to Piyush, and towards the end, I'll switch on my camera to speak to Piyush, okay? Thank you so much. Piyush, congratulations that you are taking on your level, your dynamic leadership speech. And this is what I expect of you in your speech. Your speech will be 5 to 7 minutes. And your purpose is to present to us any topic where you'll be able to receive feedback and apply this feedback in the next speech. So this is your first speech. This is your second speech of dynamic leadership. And I expect you to do the following. 1, present your speech in a timely manner within the 5 to 7 minutes, but you will also be able to present to the Toastmasters and guests this evening or this morning about any topic. We're looking forward to the topic that you'll present to us, but also we look out for certain things that will be important for us to know that your speech has been of value, your clarity, your vocal variety, your eye contact, your gestures, audience awareness and comfort level. I look forward to hearing your speech, Toastmaster Piyush. Thank you very much.
You know, the first time when I saw Piyush online, and when I thought that he's some kind of wizard, technology wizard. You know, people who are good with apps, people who are good with technology. And I'm so elated to introduce him. The first speaker is Toastmaster Piyush, and the title of his speech is Engineer's Day. Engineer's Day, Piyush.
Thank you, Toastmaster Viveka. I'll start with a question. How many of you are engineers or know someone who's an engineer? Almost everyone? Awesome. That's exactly what I wanted to get. So the engineers are celebrated across the world. There's no doubt about it. They must be celebrated. When you look at the United States, the Engineering Day celebration is not just a day, but it spans over a week. And it's the week when one of the founding fathers, George Washington, was born. It's the week when the date February 22nd fall. India does celebrate. I didn't know before I was researching this topic, but India also celebrates Engineers Day. It is September 15, which is the date of birth of one of the eminent scientists, probably one of the very first few scientists, sorry, not scientists, but engineers in India, called Sir M. Vishweshwaraya, in short, Sir MV. And now I recollect in the city of, the garden city of Bangalore, there were colleges on his name, Vishweshwaraya Institute of Technology. And when I Googled him, he had like pretty impressive bio where he was very instrumental in setting up some of the engineering colleges and also helping them grow. He was also instrumental in setting up some of the industries. He was on the board for Tata Steel. Like, if you are an Indian or have been in India, who doesn't know Tata? Like, Tata sells salt to steel to everything. Like, our life revolves around industries like that. But my real intent to present a different engineer. I couldn't find an exact translation of what is celebrated in India. So I thought maybe the Engineers Day would be the translation. So that event that happened basically last week, it's called Vishkarma Puja, or in pure Hindi, Vishwakarma Puja. He's one of the gods celebrated in India, and he is known as the god who has created everything, as per epics. Not making a claim, like who created the world. There's a Big Bang theory. It goes against the vibe of engineering, but we have our own cultures and we celebrate stuff. We celebrate people. We celebrate days. So that's the day where we do Vishkarma Puja. And just to introduce him, and you'll see other gods who are clean shaven. Am I pronouncing it right? Yes, yeah. And but this god, to show his excellence and experience, you'll see him always in white beard, a bit aged person. That's how in the pictures where people pray in front of him, that's how he's seen. Some of the notable creations that he had, he created heaven. Like, imagine the place where it is supposed to be amazing, full of palaces, and click of a button, or you want anything, it's available for you. It's like that, an amazing place. So he created that. Coming back to like a bit of a real world, like heaven's probably imaginary, I don't know, I'm not sure. In India, there is a city called Mathura, and as per the epics, it was said that Krishna once lived there, and he had a pretty amazing city created long time ago. And some of our modern day archaeologists still find some remains, which is today under the ocean and seabeds. They can still find something that kind of ties to the millions of years ago. There might have been a city here. So there is some proof. He also created Lanka. Like, there is an epic called Ramayana, where there's a description of a place where an evil person lived called Ravan, and his city was built of gold, and it was so protected, so secure that nobody can get him. And the modern day name of this place is Sri Lanka. You might have heard of Sri Lanka. So it was like anything that you see around us, it is known that it's because Lord Vishkarma bestowed his blessings upon us engineers. We are able to sort of deliver all of these creations. So how we celebrate, like typically all the shops, like if you're a welder or if you have an industry, there will be some time off. People would be doing prayers and cleaning up all the machines and stuff to make sure that it doesn't go bad. And how I celebrate, I'll basically clean up all of the engineering items, especially the expensive one, like my laptop, the TV, the car and stuff, so that it's all taken care and I'm not kind of going against the vibe of Vishkarma. So he is god of craftsmanship, and he's known for that. So to summarize, engineering marvels are all around us. Some of the early developments in the field of engineering, the wheel, the bulb, the motor, the dynamo generators, these are sort of powering us, things around us, and making our lives comfortable and enjoyable. So hats off to engineers, long live engineers, and engineers deserve that. Thanks all, and over to you, Toastmaster Viveka.
Thank you, Piyush. Wow, Vishwakarma. So whenever I listen to Piyush, I have a feeling, how is he so effortless? I want to be an effortless speaker like him or many others. So let's continue my journey of to become an awesome impromptu speaker after second speech. I would request Toastmaster Susan to give us the objective of the speech that she will be evaluating. Over to you, Susan.
Thank you, Viveka. I need to clarify with Sangeeta because there was a message on the WhatsApp that said you were feedback and evaluation speech 2, and your focus was going to be body language and vocal variety. Is that fair,
Yes,
or is it?
yes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that I was focusing correctly. She will be providing the feedback, adding it to her speech from the last time that she had been given some feedback from an evaluator. She will in fact be talking for 5 to 7 minutes for our timer, and the project will be to incorporate the feedback she received the last time. So back to you, Madam Toastmaster, for the title of her speech.
A second speaker is someone who looks a little shy in nature, but is dynamite when it comes to speaking. Toastmaster Sangeeta. Title of her speech is Dreams, Sleep, and Some Common Dreams with Their Interpretations. I repeat, Dreams, Sleep, and Some Common Dreams with Their Interpretations. Toastmaster Sangeeta.
Thank you. I'm sure you must have all heard of a saying as goes, dream is something that doesn't let you sleep, but I want to say sleep is something that lets you dream. So good evening, everyone. I'll be talking about dream, sleep, and some common dreams with their meanings. So what is a dream? Why do we dream? That's a very common question everybody has. A dream is a series of images, thoughts, or emotions, or feelings that usually occur involuntarily in our mind when we are deep asleep. What is a sleep in that case? Sleep is a period of rest, and it consists of two kinds of sleep. One is the REM, one is the non-REM. The non-REM, which means the non-rapid eye movement sleep, is the one is the majority of our sleep time. Around 75% of our sleep is the non-REM sleep. The second type of sleep is the REM sleep, rapid eye movement sleep. It is about 25% of our sleep time. So let's come to this non-REM sleep. It consists of 3 stages: the N1, N2, and the N3 stages. The N1 is the lightest sleep, and it is the transition between being awake and falling asleep. It lasts only for about 10 to 15 minutes, and it's very easy to wake up from this sleep. A person who awakes from this stage of sleep hardly even realizes that he was even sleeping in the first place. In this stage, our body tries to relax, reduces our heartbeat, breathing slows down, and it prepares to fall asleep. So let's see what N2 stage of sleep is. This is moderately deeper sleep. In this, we spend most of our time in N2 stage of sleep. About 45% of our sleep is in N2 stage of sleep. In this stage of sleep, our body relaxes even more, our heartbeat reduces, breathing slows down, our eye movement is slow, and our muscles relax. Yes, let's go into N3 stage. This is the final non-REM stage of sleep, and this is the deepest sleep that we get. And it is very hard to wake up from this sleep. And if you wake up somebody from this sleep, it is very likely that they have mental impairment when they wake up. They kind of have a mental fogginess called sleep inertia when they wake up. It can last for about 30 minutes to 1 hour if they're awakened from the sleep. And it is this important stage of sleep that our body recovers, rebuilds. Our body and our immunity system strengthens, cells regenerate, tissues repair, and growth happens. So this is very crucial that we get enough sleep in N3 stage of sleep. And in this stage of sleep, our body is totally relaxed. There is no eye movement, and our heart rate and breathing is at its lowest rate. And let's see what REM sleep is. This is the interesting stage of sleep because it is during this REM sleep that we actually get dreams. So every one cycle consists of N1, N2, N3, and REM sleep. So this complete cycle lasts for about 90 minutes to 120 minutes. So with calculation, you can say there are 4 to 5 sleep cycles in a typical 6 to 8 hour duration of sleep. Yes, as famous psychologist Sigmund Freud says in his book, The Interpretation of Dreams, dreams are the road to unconscious mind. Yes, it is so true that dreams are a reflection of our state of mind, our future possibilities, and the changes that we have experienced in our life and any experiences that we have recently had. It is what that the subconscious mind is telling us through the language of dreams. And then there are many, there are very common dreams that occur frequently. Some have dreams about falling from heights. Some have dreams about being chased by animal or by people. Some also get dreams of flying. Some dream about being naked in the public. Some even get dreams of dying. Either they dream of their loved ones dying or they themselves dying in their dream. So all these are a reflection of their life situations, their thoughts, their fears, and the struggles they've had in their lives. Some are very positive, some are negative. Some are mostly, some are positive or some are negative. There are 5 types of dreams: the normal dreams, daydreams, lucid dreams, false awakening dreams, and the nightmares. And the dreams that I have spoken about, the common dreams, they are all the normal dreams that we get. I would like to conclude my speech by saying a good laugh and a long sleep are the best cure in the doctor's book. So let's all stay happy and sleep well and take good care of our health. Thank you very much. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Sangeeta. Wow, dreams. I love sleeping and I love dreaming. So remember the letter incident that I described at the start is nothing to my real life confrontational episodes. I have Googled everything to win an argument, how to say no, how to remain calm in a discussion, how to get out of dissension, and how to face my demon. Let's face what Toastmaster Raghu has to offer in our next section, which is table topping. It's an impromptu section. Raghu, please take the stage. Raghu, my legs are aching. I can't stand.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Viveka. Great job as a Toastmaster of the day. Now it's time to break the leg of Toastmaster Viveka, of course, but with our table topics. Table topic is certainly an exercise that we have to do, we have to attempt to keep us alive in those critical moments in life, especially when you talk to your spouse. Yes, spouse. You cannot avoid anything especially when you have to face those critical moments, the confrontation by your wife. Let me ask Toastmaster Jim, what is that confrontation, whether it is your girlfriend or your spouse, that you face or you dread?
Well, I have to say, first of all, thank you for the question. I think that's one of the reasons why I am glad at the present to be single. But aside from that, I would dread more having a confrontation with my wife because there's more at stake when you're married. And what I would want to make sure of is that if there are any points of difference between us or points of contention between us, that we get it expressed as soon as possible, so that it doesn't get to the point where there has to be a confrontation. Because my philosophy is that you want to always try to be as cooperative with each other as possible, to the greatest degree possible. And with communication, any difference can be surmounted. It just depends on the effort that each person is willing to give toward it. So to summarize, the confrontation that I would dread the most is a confrontation between my wife and myself. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jane. Catherine, as an entrepreneur, as a woman who is leading into a position, you have a great education, and then also one of the great positions that any other woman can envy you. What is that confrontation that you face at your workplace as being a woman entrepreneur?
That's a very good one. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Raghu, I apologize. I did not hear very well. Would you repeat the question kindly?
What is the confrontation that you keep hearing, that you facing as a woman entrepreneur and also at your workplace?
Thank you very much. One of the things that I faced as a mother who was working at home and then becoming a CEO was, am I going to apply my motherhood skills in the marketplace? And indeed, I was privileged in the last 5 years. I applied most of the examples that I had in the kitchen. Organizing my kitchen is the same way I looked at when I was reorganizing stuff. When talking about stuff, I'm talking about the staff members' roles. If I were remunerating my house helps at home, the same principles that I used to establish how much I would pay, what I would pay, are the principles I used at the workplace when defending my staff members with my board. The same principles that I used in budgeting for my home and budgeting for the needs in my home are the principles I used when I was budgeting for the organization. And as an entrepreneur, many times I have been asked the question, what is in it for me as a woman? I have come to learn one thing or two in my 45 years of existence, that we were created men and women equal. There is absolutely no difference, no bias. We have the same amount of intellect. We have the same amount of creativity. Perhaps we have different bodies, but can I tell you something? If a man were to carry 3 children in his womb, he probably would not live beyond 5 years after that. What I have learned is whatever a man can do, a woman can achieve, perhaps even much more. Back to you, Table Topics Master.
Just imagining a man carrying a baby, and then I read it when I was in my 10th grade. It came in a news article that even men can carry a baby, and I started imagining. Thank you very much. Susan, you've been a Toastmaster for so many years, about 2 decades. You're 2 times GTM, other 3 times, and then you've been serving in several positions, including multiple clubs. I'm sure you must have faced confrontation in Toastmasters when you were in multiple clubs, when you were dealing with so many people. What was that confrontation and how did you challenge it or how did you face it? Overcome it.
Thank you, Raghu. Very thought-provoking, because we are told as presidents of a club that we are to handle confrontation and conflict. And most of the clubs I was a party to through the years, I didn't observe it. Maybe it went on behind the scenes, or maybe I had on my rose-colored glasses. But lately, I have been visiting clubs that are struggling. Less than 10 members, less than 6 that show up, and it's challenging for them to run their meetings. As I observe and try to advise, I try not to be confrontational, but I do try to enumerate those things that perhaps could be done differently. One example, a secretary talks through the entire meeting. Can I have the top of that? Can I have the name of that? I need it for my meeting minutes. Well, the meeting minutes are supposed to be taken silently. I'm not supposed to be hearing about the meeting minutes all during the meeting. I will not be attending that meeting any longer. I needed to say something. Shh, you're talking to yourself. You need to chat through the chat. No guest wants to hear that. And being a guest, I was speaking up. I am known to be confrontational, but you can still do it kindly, politely, respectfully, say something for the benefit of the members. After all, we evaluate. It's not a confrontation, but we need to be able to give our feedback in a positive way, and we can do the same in our Toastmasters meetings. Sometimes I wish I had zipped my lip and not said something, but I don't regret having said it. Mr. Topic Master.
Thank you very much, Kitty Susan. Unless experienced persons like you speak or confront, sometimes things will not get into straight line. And you should speak. And it's time to put our timer on the spot, and I want someone to help time. Somebody can, Viveka, somebody who can help a time. You can just send a message, okay, in the chat. Kalpana, you are a Toastmaster, you are a mother, you're a wife, and you are a dancer. You're working as an IT engineer. Certainly, there's a conflict between these roles. And there have been several occasions when you had to confront someone. Did that help you? Did confrontation help you at any moment of your life?
Thank you, Table Topic Master, for that beautiful topic. And yes, while playing so many roles, I sometimes juggle myself, and I definitely confront my own self and see, do I really need to do this? And every time I ask myself this question, as our Table Topic speaker, Catherine said, everybody is made with the same content. Only the thing is, we look at it with different viewpoint, and that is where some voice comes and says that, you have to do beyond what you are capable of, and that is where you will be outgrowing yourself and increasing your capacity as a human being. And when I do this, I ensure that my personality is being observed by my children, and they try to ensure that they are adapting all these qualities. I really feel good when my kids say that, I wanted to be like you. I can drive the car, I can work, and I can, go beyond whatever things are happening. So these kind of beautiful things definitely help me to survive. Yes, I confront my own self and ensure that I am challenging myself for betterment of life. Thank you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Kalpana. Self-confrontation is good, but if you keep doing a lot, then you might put yourself down, your confidence down. Thank you very much for that. Bharat, are you comfortable taking a table topic? You're unmute.
Why not?
You're father of two wonderful kids. You're an entrepreneur, and you're a Toastmaster, and you're a
1
DTM.
minute, let me increase the volume. I can't hear you properly. Please, go ahead.
My question is, being a father, being an entrepreneur, and being a Toastmaster, what are the challenges that you face? And how do you or whom do you confront most of the time? Is it your wife? Is it your children? Or is it your fellow Toastmasters?
Good morning. Confrontation, part of our lives. Be it wife, be it fellow officers, be it my beautiful daughters. Now, where we go is what we think. We want to fight with them. We want to learn from them. What is our aim? As an entrepreneur, a family person, and a passionate Toastmasters, I have so many challenges which I love and which I'm happy to address. A fellow officer says SAA role is useless role. What do? I'm going to have a lunch with him today. My wife says, Bharat, you are spending way too much of your time on Toastmasters. She said that multiple times. And when my daughter just got selected to her MBA in Spain, Barcelona, she was proud of her achievements at Toastmasters. Not only that, my daughter calls me up from Spain every day for the last 10 days. And her first question is, Dad, my first start of my MBA program is communication. And I'm to give speeches. And every day she's calling me, this is the speech I gave. Today I have to speak about emotional, what is pathos and ethos and blah, 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 blah. A bond is established. And this is the same daughter who waited 9 months, did not heed my advice. I did not confront her that time. I did not confront my wife. I did not confront my fellow officers. I patiently wait for my time to let them see sense in what this is all about. Fellow Toastmasters, stay patient and you will win them over. Back to you.
Thank you, Bharat, for the inspirational speech. I would love to hear how you can practice and face the confrontation, especially from the wife. Thank you very much. Maybe next time. Yakuba, do you want to take a topic?
Hello, Jill. I have an issue with my connection. This is the reason why I didn't understand what you said since the beginning, since the start.
No problem. So you want to take the topic?
Yes.
Yakuba, are you married?
No, I'm not married.
You have a girlfriend, right?
What a tough question. Yeah, frankly, I have a girlfriend.
Don't worry. There are no prospective girlfriends here. It's okay to relieve your secrets here. So the question for you, Yako, is how do you handle the confrontation from your girlfriend? How do you handle the confrontation by your girlfriend, Yako?
What a really tough question, job table topic master. Thanks a lot for this wonderful question. For telling the truth, I don't even want confrontation with anyone. But if it is the case, I think what I should do is to bring up the communication, because for me, communication is the most important thing. Even in a couple, if there is no communication, there is no respect in the couple. And in the couple, you have to respect each other. You have to understand each other. And it cannot be possible if there is no communication between you and your girlfriend. So for me, the communication is the basic of everything, of every situation. So that's what I think about it. Thanks a lot, dear Toastmaster.
Hello. Thank you very much, Yaku.
Yeah.
You need to face your confrontation. Certainly, being honest doesn't help you, especially with your wife, because irrespective of what you say, they have to say something and they will confront you. In life, in the words of Toastmaster Viveka, confrontation may sometimes sound like odd, and then we also dread to face the confrontation. But trust me, once you pass through the confrontation, you might be making good friends. Being honest through those moments, you may be making lasting friends. I'll tell you about a small moment in my life. In one situation, I had a friend in my office, and then I was talking on his behind to one other friend, talking about the timings that he was following. And it just was for joke at that moment. But as soon as my friend came in, the other guy just made a comment, and then he pushed it on me, saying that Raghu said so and so. And he came back and he asked me, "Did you say exactly these words?" And I said, I faced a confrontation and told him, "Yes, I said it. And I'm very sorry for saying that. But trust me, after those moments, this same person, my friend Toastmaster Srini, became one of my best friends for the life." Face the confrontation. Keep being honest. And once you do that, you can pass through any moment of your life and maybe long-lasting relationship, whether it is your wife, girlfriend, or any other relation. I wish everyone all the best and pass the control to Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Raghu, and thanks a lot for the advice. It was really authentic. I am so elated that you created a case around the theme. I wasn't expecting it, and it's so good to learn from you. And thank you all the people who participated in table topic session. As usual, the session was amazing. And see, this is one thing in the world I'm really envious of. Good impromptu speakers. I really don't care what people do or, they have, but I really envy people who have got good speaking skills, impromptu. When a ball is thrown at them, they know how to hit it, whether it's a spin ball or a curve ball or a straight ball, they know it all. Everybody rocked. And thanks again, Raghu, for not making me look like a fool, especially on a day when I'm hosting. Well, I guess we are nearing the end. Let's have reports from all the role players. I guess speakers, have waited long enough. Let's get the evaluation reports. I would request Catherine for her evaluation report. Catherine, would you do the I would invite Catherine for presenting her evaluation report.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day, Viveka. Piyush, thank you for your speech. I was intrigued by your topic. I actually thought it was going to be very difficult to understand, but you made us fall in love with the engineering profession. Through your speech, we got to learn about the Engineers' Day celebrations from United States of America that takes 1 week celebrating engineers or scientists. You also told us about India that celebrates this day. You talked about engineering colleges. You talked about the God, the Indian God who created Heaven, who created several understandings of engineering that we can relate with. You brought to us examples of engineering models, making our lives comfortable. You talked to us about the linkages that modern day archaeologists bring to provide proof that there was creation of this engineering profession. You were effortless. You were comfortable. We could hear your voice clearly. We could understand the topic. I enjoyed your topic thoroughly. I enjoyed your delivery. Piyush, what would you work on? In my view, in my opinion, I would have suggested a very clear transition between your opening, your body, and your closing. At some point, when I was listening to you, I could not tell where in the geography of the speech we were at. However, I believe that you will use the information that I'm giving through this speech when you repeat this speech for the second take of your project. I really appreciate that you brought a topic that is often difficult for many people to understand into a speech and delivered it effortlessly. Well done, Piyush. Thank you very much. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Catherine, for such a detailed report. I just loved it. I'm sure Piyush must have noted down. And you will see the changes in future. I'm sure about it. So let's have a second evaluation report from Susan for Sangeeta. Susan, please take the stage.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, guests, and Sangeeta. Your title immediately drew me in to say, this is going to be fantastic. I love to hear about dreams and their interpretations. And you mentioned the rule of three: dreams, sleep, some common dreams, and then you threw one in extra, the interpretations of them. What I saw was you were confident as you stood there and you were spaced properly within your Zoom camera. You had a wonderful smile, but you also varied that throughout when you had expressiveness. And I could see your elation as you were talking about various topics. You went on with great detail to talk about the different stages of sleep. And even though it's getting towards 10 p.m. at night, I wasn't even tired, but can't wait to think about my dreams later on. You did something very professional when you stood in one spot on the stage for one section, a second part you went into the middle, and a third part. They call that staging. You make a point, you move to the center, and you make a point. And that was very effective as you worked on your rule of three, as you talked about the various stages of sleep. You then went on to share with us the quote from Freud, and then you mentioned some common dreams. And I was awaiting the message about their meanings. I would suggest that in your structure, there's a rule of three. You spent an enormous amount of time setting the stage about what is sleep and what are dreams. And you left a very limited amount of time for us to hear, well, what do they mean? What does it mean when I'm flying or when I'm running away from someone? Give me even just a little taste test of that. Obviously, this topic could go on for hours, and I could listen to you for hours, talk about it, but I was so intrigued, and you left me wanting more. I will give you one other suggestion with regards to your movements. As you progressed through the speech, you started moving more quickly. You weren't just doing the staging, one thought, one thought, one thought. You seemed to be moving, and it almost appeared to be moving target. Like, they won't get me if I'm still moving. That can get to be a little bit distracting for your audience. So just a little bit less. I know we go on the pendulum swings, standing still and frozen to moving around all of the time, but your audience needs to digest that what you're saying. And if you keep moving, it is not as easy to do so. Move with purpose from one place to another as you're going through the 3 items. I look forward to any other speeches for you. I want to know more. Please tell me about the meanings of those dreams. Madam Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Susan. See, this is what comes out of an experienced Toastmaster. She talked about staging. I was not even aware about it. I'd not heard about it. I mean, you know, staging, yes, some days I must have heard or read somewhere, but she wasn't just talking about the body or the structure. She was talking about staging. And I saw Catherine nodding, so probably she knows the staging part of it. And she was so happy that you mentioned. This is what a professional and experienced player is, Susan. And thank you for enlightening me today. And I must give more speeches to understand the staging part of it. And I should be Googling a lot. I should be more on YouTube for Toastmasters, I guess. That is how I'm going to learn it. And of course, I'm going to learn it from my fellow Toastmasters as well. We are nearing the end, but we still have few reports. I would request Toastmaster Kalpana for her a timer and our counter report. Toastmaster Kalpana.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Viveka. As an accounter holder, I was really disappointed by Jim, Susan, and Raghu because they didn't give me a chance to have at least one count for so. Please let us all clap for them because they have been proficient and they haven't given any chance for the counter holder. And if everybody is like that, I'm sure we'll not need to have a counter anymore. But I have few counts captured. Let me talk about them. Catherine, I observed that you keep using of as when you are thinking, especially when you want to say something and you are trying to get words of those. I see you are using and you're also taking small pauses. I have a recommendation for you to avoid as. Just calm down and use pause. That is where you'll be able to see. See, Susan is showing like this, take a breath. And that is how I stopped using my A's. Otherwise, I was like, like this. I used to talk when I was initially a Toastmaster. Piyush, you have little usage of that is when you are also thinking about what next your speech is going to come. Maybe you can avoid that by more practice. Sangeeta, you have usage of the word and you also use double words like it and. So that comes when you are trying to give some information and you're fetching the words at back end. So I would say practice and you will be able to avoid these things. And Viveka, yes, you also have usage of that is when you are thinking from your background. So little more practice will help you. So here ends my counter report. I could not capture mine because I don't want to be, I was little just focusing on other things. Thank you. And the timing part, everybody were within time. Piyush had taken 6 minutes, 10 seconds for his speech. Sangeeta was exactly on dot at 5 minutes, 59 seconds. Toastmaster Jim had taken 1 minute, 40 seconds for his table topic speech. Catherine at table topic was 2 minutes, 1 second. Susan, you speak so beautifully, Susan. Every time I forgot to raise the green card on time. I'm really sorry. And next time I'll be more conscious about it. You have taken 2 minutes, 9 seconds. And I have taken 2 minutes for the table topic. And Bharat, you have taken 2 minutes, 24 seconds for that motivational speech. And Yakub had taken 56 seconds. And in the evaluation segment, we have Catherine who took 2 minutes, 24 seconds and Susan 3 minutes, 10 seconds. That's all from the counter and the timer. Thank you. Over to you, table topic master. Sorry, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Kalpana. Kalpana is really happy. So yeah, let's have a report from a grammarian. Catherine, please do the needful.
Today, there was music to my ears when I heard many people use the English language really well. But I would like to commend Viveka for using the word of the day. Our award goes to Viveka for using the word dissension. If I have not listened very carefully and you use the words, please receive my sincere apologies. But that is the one person that used the word of the day. To celebrate those who use the great English language, I would like to talk about just some of the nice phrases that we heard today. That is what I called music to my ears. We heard some beautiful words from Piyush, who was our first speaker, when he talked about the God who created heaven. I found that beautiful. He talked about modern day archaeologists. We also heard from Sangeeta, sleep is something that lets you dream. Period of rest. Our body relaxes even more. Totally relax. Dreams are a reflection of our state of mind. That was music to our ears. I'd like to celebrate Jim, who spoke about confrontation, and he was referring to arguments and saying if they could be expressed as soon as possible, to the greatest degree possible, any argument can be surmounted. That was beautiful. Raghu, irrespective of what you say, be honest. Long-lasting friends and long-lasting relationships. Susan was referring to a Toastmasters club or many Toastmasters clubs she was a party to. That was beautiful. How they run their meetings. She used one of the words that I found beautiful that could become a word of the day someday. She used the word enumerate or enumerate. Confrontational, kindly. Bharat, passionate Toastmaster, multiple times. Bharat used one statement that just did not leave my mind. A bond is established when referring to his daughter and how his daughter was inspired by his Toastmaster participation and belonging. Kalpana, look at with different viewpoints, outdoing self, challenging self. Viveka, great impromptu speakers. And I would also like to congratulate Yakub for using the word communication is the most important thing. I thought that was wonderful. What could we work on, Toastmasters and guests? There were some words that will need some work. And that is, for example, Viveka used amused of. Instead of amused of, can we go by amused by? I would like to also encourage Kalpana to, instead of saying juggle myself, I juggle, or that, have to juggle. I think those are the two major words that I would recommend that we can work on. Otherwise, today was music to my ears. Thank you, Toastmasters and guests.
Thank you, Catherine, for giving us such a wonderful report. And thank you for the amuse thing. I didn't even realize the wrong use of preposition over there. Thanks a lot. I'm really thankful to you for this. So, after listening to my fellow Toastmasters, I guess I've devised a plan. My plan is simple. I intend to be as eloquent and as graceful as I can while speaking. Every time it's time for confrontation or I get into an unwanted argument, I will keep my tone down and try to remain calm. And when it's over, done and dusted. I will not revisit the situation again in my mind. Well, I guess a little bit of discipline and some practice may make me a better on-the-spot speaker one day. With this, we end the session, but I would like to have, in fact, we would like to have some feedback from our guests. So I think we have Bharat here and we have, one second.